Hello, this is Scotty McCoy. I'm the author of the Ultimate Friday the 13th trivia book, and I am doing another book titled The Ultimate Slasher Movie Encyclopedia, and I am interviewing the cast and crew of the Friday the 13th franchise, and I currently have on the phone with me Melody Johnson, and she played Kinsa in Jason X. Hi, Melody. How you doing?
Hi, good.
That's great. I'm so glad I'm able to talk to you.
Yeah, you bet.
Definitely. So the first question I got for you isn't related to Friday the 13th, but it's how did you get your start into acting?
How did I get my start in the acting business? Well, I was a dancer, and I guess a pageant kid, and really sort of extroverted. So my parents knew to channel that somewhere. So on a panel of judges was my agent at the time, and so that was, I guess, when I was about eight or nine. So yeah, a long time ago. And that's how that happened.
Awesome. So what was your audition like for Jason X?
What was it like? I remember Jim Isaac was in the room, and amongst other producers. And I remember they liked my outfit because it was, well, this is going back quite some time, but so I probably found like my most spacey looking outfit. And they had commented on that. And the audition, I guess, clearly it went well. It was fun. I remember it being late. I was excited. I had never done any sort of sci-fi. And I was so young. I think I was like 17 or something. So
Awesome.
Yeah, I remember it being kind of a fun audition.
Awesome. So how did you film your death scene? I know Jason didn't technically kill you as you had a panic attack.
No.
But like, how was that all filmed?
Right. Well, there were a few chuckles because it just seemed like, how did you die? And you're like, oh, well, I'm the one character that, decided to panic and curate her own demise, I guess. So I think it was, the joke was like, how long do you get to stay in the movie for, and then how do you die? And I do recall a review of something being like, my character was by far the most annoying. It took far too long to die, which was probably correct because I think I just cried in the movie and ran around scantily clad, and then I off myself because I eject from the spacecraft in some kind of pod or something like that. So yeah, I remember that filming. It was just constant crying and panic. Just a typical day in the life of Melody Johnson. Yeah, so that's how that went.
Awesome. So what was it like working with Yanni Gilman?
Oh, Yanni, yes. He played my boyfriend.
Yes? Yes.
Yeah, I think, and again, this is going back a long time, so it's quite young. I believe that was like my first sort of intimate scene, and he was really cool about it. He was a bit older than I was. He was just a fun guy. All the cast was. It was a really, really good vibe on set. And he's just sort of this young hunky guy that I get to hang out with. And yeah, I remember him being quite sweet and quite professional as well because like I say, that was uncharted territory for me. So I remember feeling quite safe in that space.
Right.
Yeah.
So how was James Isaac as a director?
Oh, he's great. I mean, that's one of the takeaways from that film. I just remember him being loads of fun. He was really playful with all of it.
Right.
And he was a really cool guy. He was a really cool guy to sort of be under direction of. Like, he had a really clear vision of where he wanted to take it. And, he's just like a lovely human being.
Awesome.
And I haven't worked with him since, but I have sort of crossed paths with him, and he's just kind of a stand-up guy all around.
Right.
So, yeah, that was quite lucky. Yeah.
Right. So what was your most memorable moment while filming Jason X?
I made that sound as if there was some sort of scandal attached, and there wasn't. It was really fun. What was my most memorable? Tricky. I have a funny story. So I remember. So it was quite. Any of these movies are quite gory.
Yep.
but I do distinctly remember like some kind of a joke where I was so bothered by all of like the blood and the guts and the gore, and I remember coming around a corner and them not saying intentionally that there was like this prosthetic dead body in me having like a flip out. And that was really funny. And terrifying. Yeah, so there are a lot of moments like that. We had a lot of fun because it is pretty dark and kind of gross, and so it was definitely kind of moments like that kept it pretty light, pretty fun.
Awesome. So, what was the best part about filming Jason X, and what was the worst?
What was the best and what was the worst?
Yes.
Best part. I guess best part being part of like a huge franchise like that. That's a big a big sort of checkbox, right, on any kind of active resume. That's I think in hindsight, I mean, we're doing this interview so many years on, so that's kind of the best part of it, right?
Exactly.
And then what's that?
I said exactly.
Right? So there's that. And then the second, well, I mean, dying, yeah, you know. I mean, I think it was close to the end. So, that would be the worst part of it, I guess. But I mean, with something as big as that, I was so young at the time. I look back on it, and I had to really kind of reach. But you do something big like that, and then you finish, and you laugh, and then you're like, wow, that was really big. What's next? You know, and I'm working on something currently, which is got a kind of big scope like that too, and it you don't always get that, right? Like it's already built in that it's going to be sort of this big thing. So it's kind of cool just to be part of that, right?
Exactly. I definitely agree with that. I always wanted to be in a Friday the 13th film, and I wanted to be the one that gets killed by Jason.
That was a real letdown for me.
I know, unfortunately, and I loved your character too. So
yeah, she was kind of annoying, but yeah.
So what was it like working with So what was it like working with Kane Hodder?
Great. He really took that role seriously. He's a really he's like an intense guy, you know, and he brought to it. You know, I just remember thinking, wow, like this is like he's got a real process there. So it was interesting to watch him for sure.
Right.
Yeah, and I distinctly remember thinking, holy shit, like this guy's really into it, right?
Exactly.
He's a good guy. He's good. So he's like this lovable big guy, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh. Yeah.
So what was the environment like on set?
I think it was. I really felt like it was like we were just kind of these young bandits, you know. I still know quite a few people, actors especially that sort of launched from that, and the vibe was everybody was into it. It was fun, and I feel like at the time everybody kind of knew like, holy, like this is like a new take on the Jason. I think everybody was really happy to sort of be a part of it, and it was really fun. I think everyone had a lot of fun on it. Mm-hmm.
I agree. And the last question I got for you is, do you have any future projects in the works that you'd like to tell the readers about?
I do. I can't really say a whole lot about it. It's meant to be released this year, and depending on when your project happens, then it'll be sort of out there. But something that I'm really, really proud of, something that is very exciting, and sorry, that's the of course telling answer.
You're not allowed to give a title or anything?
You're like, that's not helpful, Melody.
You're not allowed to give a title or anything, though?
Yeah, I think we can. It's called Titan.
Okay, awesome. And yeah, my book probably won't be out in probably for a couple of years yet, to be honest with you. It's a big book, but I'm going to be creating a sneak peek, and I put it on my fan page. I have over 3,000 followers on there alone, and I'm going to be putting it on there, and I'll include the last question, so they'll be able to keep a lookout for Titan. So when it gets released, they'll be able to go and see you in it.
Hey, yeah, that's I appreciate that. That's
no problem.
A lot of fun.
Well, I thank you so much for your time. It means a lot.
Hey, my pleasure. My pleasure. Well, it means plus me, right?
Yes, exactly. I mean, all these years later, I mean, what it was released in, was it 2002, I believe? And we have...
Was it really that long ago?
Yep,
Yikes.
2002, because it was before Freddy vs. Jason, and that was out in 2003. And, yeah, it was that long ago, and all these years later, we're still talking about it. They're still doing conventions. We have generations of fans.
I know,
The fans back then are getting older, and their kids are now becoming fans, and we're having this interview now. It's just amazing.
Well, hey, I'm happy to be a part of it. I think it's really great what you're doing, and
Thank you very much.
Yeah, this is why we all do it, right?
Exactly. I thank you so much, and you have a
Yeah.
nice day.
Yeah, you bet. You too,
Yep.
Scotty. Talk soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Yep. Bye.